Well, good afternoon, kids. I'm doing Origo 8.3 today, and you can see we're still doing division. But one of the things you might be noticing about these two numbers is that our bigger number is a little bit tricky, because if we look at 54 divided by 3, I can't right away go, oh, these numbers are divisible right away. So I have to start thinking a little bit fluently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do basically kind of do a number bond. I'm going to split these split the 54. So I'm thinking, when I look at this, I'm thinking, how could I split these numbers so that both numbers would be divisible by 3? So then I think, okay, I'm going to split 54 into 30 and 24. And I recognize that 3 goes into both these numbers evenly. So I know that 3 times 10 is 30. So 30 divided by 3 equals 10. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 10 and 3. But I'm going to circle my 10 there. Okay, that right there is the chunk that I'm going to hold on to. And then if I get over to 24, I know that 3 times 8 equals 24. So I'm going to go like this. I'll go 8 on this side and 3 over here. And I'm going to circle both those numbers. And then these right here, these are actually, if I add these two numbers together, 10 and 8, 10 and 8 equals 18. That is actually my quotient, my answer for this division problem. So 54 divided by 3 equals 18. So again, in order for me to do this, I had to think flexibly about the numbers. Okay, let's go on to my next slide. And this is, maybe I'll go like this. Okay. And you can see the folks who were doing Origo, they thought about this the same way. They looked at this as we could look at 54 divided into 3 10s or 30 or 24 ones. So that's another way of thinking about this flexibly. And there we go. Therefore, 54 divided by 3 equals 18. I'm going to stop there with that slide, and I'm going to go up here. We're going to get into our step-in discussion, because we're going to be doing some examples of dividing some numbers where we have to think flexibly. So I have this area that is 75. Let's say it's a rug, and on one side it is 5 feet, but we don't know this length. Well, if I look at this, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I can't just automatically know how many times 5 goes into 75. So I need to think about this number flexibly and think about how I can split it up. So let's go on to my next slide. And our little turkey here says, I know that 5 times 10 equals 50, and that leaves 25 over. So that means, so this idea that 50 plus 25 equals 75. So I'm thinking about how I can split up this 75. And our little turkey thought about it this way. Now you could do it a different way. You might have been thinking about 2 different numbers, but our little turkey here thought of it this way. So then we can think about the area being split up in this way. So we can see that 50 and 25 equals 75. And if we see this, we can see, oh, 5 times 10 equals 50, and 5 times 5 equals 25. So if we take these two numbers together, 10 plus 5 equals 15, that, that means that 75 divided by 5 equals 15. And what is the length of our unknown side? It's going to be 15. Now this one is a little bit different. We have the 3 and we are dividing 45 divided by 3. Again, this is not necessarily a fact that I know right out of the park. So I'm going to think about how I can split up 45. It's not going to just be 40 and 5 because 5 is not divisible by 3. And it's how could we break up the two parts? There are lots of ways, but what my brain does is I think about, okay, I'm going to put a 30 here and I'm going to put a 15 here. And I can see right off the bat that 30 plus 15 equals 45. And I'm finding two numbers that I can split it up into that are each divisible by 3. So this is why I have to think flexibly. So I'm thinking of 3 times what equals 30? Well, that's 10. Okay. And then 3 times what equals 15? Well, that is 5. Is that right? Yep, that is 5. And I'm going to add these two, and I have 10 plus 5 equals 15. What that means is that 45 divided by 3 equals 15. Let's see what we got down here. And anyway, so there is our slide. So kids, let me show you our journal, that what you're going to be doing for me. Okay, so I've got 2 different problems for you, and I'll walk us through it, and then you guys are going to be doing this for me in your portfolio or in messages. So I've got 90 divided by 6. So again, I want you to think about how you can split up the 90 into 2 different parts. I really would like you to try to do this, to think flexibly about how to split these numbers up. Okay, and then in this case, you have to find the mystery side, just like what we were doing before. What I'd like you to do is then show me your thinking as a division equation and a multiplication equation. Okay, and here's our second problem, is 51. Again, I want you to think about how you can split up 51 into 2 different numbers, and how you can divide 3 into those 2 different numbers to get our mystery side. Okay, kids, so have fun with that, and I will see you for another lesson. Okay, bye-bye.